A lot of people ask me, Jake, how did you generate $30 million in real estate sales your first year, becoming a top 50 salesperson with your brokerage all across the country? And the answer is 7 things that I'm gonna teach you today. And if you stick around to the very end, I'm gonna share 2 bonus tips that you do not wanna miss. Now, all the advice that I'm gonna give on this channel, keep in mind, it's for salespeople related businesses. And it doesn't matter if you're in insurance, if you're in real estate, if you're in mortgages, it's all gonna be applicable. And further to that, point number 1 is that you need to think like an entrepreneur, which is what we're gonna be doing on this channel. And the reason the very first thing you need to do to be successful is think like an entrepreneur is because you're gonna be surrounded by salespeople and they're gonna be thinking like salespeople. They're gonna be thinking commission check to commission check, and that's gonna cloud your judgment about how to think about building a business rather than just collecting your next commission check. So rule number 1 to be successful, think like an entrepreneur, think long-term, which leads us to point number 2, which is having a vision. And that means knowing your numbers. Just know you're not gonna stumble your way to success, so we really wanna measure everything and know our numbers. And the first part of this is actually studying your past, which means asking yourself some really important questions like, where did my first clients actually come from? What was the average deal size? What were my busiest months? The more you can know about your business, the more you're gonna be able to know what you should be measuring and understanding the entire breakdown of everything. Now, if you want a full breakdown of understanding how I think about this, we have a full video where we go into what you see here on my screen, which is understanding how to break down your numbers into trackable things like appointments, actual deals that you're trying to get from leads, and breaking it down systematically. So you can go check that video out right here. Number 3 is all about making a marketing plan. Your number 1 job when you're in a sales related business is lead generation. So with that being the case, what are your 3 pillars gonna be? How are you gonna go out there and generate new business? Is it gonna be through paid advertising like Google, Facebook, YouTube, or is it gonna be more guerrilla things like door knocking, hosting open houses for other agents? What's the strategies that you're gonna use to generate new business? And I just gave you the answers. All the things that I just mentioned is exactly what it is that we do to generate business. So formulate your plan, and then I want you to stick to it for 3 months before you change anything, because you need time to actually, again, measure how did that marketing do, be really consistent for 3 months, and then look back and measure it. But pick your marketing plan, pick 3 things you're gonna focus on and do them for 3 months. Number 4 is you're actually gonna set up a framework to track your numbers weekly. So we're talking a lot about measuring things. Have your KPIs. I want you to track how many leads did you generate, how many appointments did you go on, and how many deals are you actually moving forward. If you just track those things, every week you're gonna have to ask yourself questions like, why didn't I generate the number of leads that I need to be generating? You need to begin to measure everything in your business. And if you want to take it a step further, you can be measuring things like how much revenue am I actually generating? How much expenses am I accumulating? And by measuring just those basic numbers right away, you're actually going to be ahead of 80% of the other businesses that are out there where people aren't tracking anything at all. So track everything, do it weekly, and watch how much that influences your success. Now, number 5, maybe my favorite, make a 10x target. Aim huge. Don't just settle for these lame little goals of I'm gonna try and make $50,000 my first year as a realtor. No offense, but aim high. The reason you wanna aim high is when you aim high, you're gonna act different. What's gonna get you to the place that you wanna get to is not gonna be the actions that you did to get to where you are today. So you gotta aim big. I want you to set like $1 million goal or a $10 million goal. Make it so big that it inspires you to get up in the morning, it gets you motivated and gets you excited to go after that big goal. Don't choose something that's so unrealistic it feels like you're never gonna get even close, but do aim for something that's probably bigger than you think you're gonna need to aim for. And then it's really important that you follow the other steps we talk about, which is knowing your numbers, actually reverse engineering it so that on a weekly basis you can say, am I moving toward that goal or not? The other thing about having a really big 10x goal is other people will be drawn to you because they'll see your big vision, they'll hear you talking the big game, they'll see that you're actually tracking, making the actions to move toward that vision, and they'll want to partner with you. Number 6 is your network is your net worth. Get around people who are smarter than you. I want you to get into rooms where you're the dumbest person in the room. Get into rooms where people are thinking at a higher level. Their 10x's make your 10x look little. So get around people who are dreaming big dreams. They're executing, they're earning the level of income that you want to be earning. And once you get around those people, what's naturally gonna happen is you're gonna start to notice the strategies they use, the way that they talk, the daily actions and routines that they have. And all of those things will start to change your behavior because you'll recognize that if you wanna be like them, you gotta do the things that they're doing. Your network is your net worth. Get out there, find ways to add value to those people so that you can get into the room. Number 7, last but not least, probably the most important other than lead generation, is over-deliver for your clients. You are in a business that is entirely reputation focused long-term. In the short term, like I talked about, I did $700,000 my first year. That doesn't matter though. What matters is actually year 2, 3, 4. Do those same clients call me back to help sell their homes when the time comes? Do they refer me to other family members who are moving? And if they don't, I'm gonna have a business that is forever reliant on paid advertising. And the problem with that is that it doesn't have the leverage that you want to have, which is when you can turn a client into referrals, so one deal turns into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 deals, that lifetime value of getting that customer becomes lower. Because if that person ends up being worth $100,000 to me rather than one $10,000 commission check, it means that I can go out and spend $20,000, $30,000 to advertise to get tons of clients because they're worth that much more money. You can outspend with the competitors, you can ultimately win more market share. Over deliver for your clients. Alex Hormozi's got this amazing thing where he says, imagine if right now in your business, your current client was gonna be the last client you were ever gonna have. How would you treat them if you knew that all of your future business had to come from them? Take that methodology of over-delivering for your clients and asking, what can I do to make this experience so incredible for these clients that they not only refer to me to everybody, but they use me for every transaction moving forward. Now it's time for the bonus round where I'm gonna share a bonus tip that is gonna massively help you move towards success your first year or your 5th year as a realtor. And that's really simple. Dress for success. You'll notice in these videos, I'm wearing a suit. I'm not wearing a polo, I'm not wearing a t-shirt. And the reason is people look to people who are dressed in a uniform for advice as a position of authority. And if you don't believe me, this is a well-documented thing. You can go read the book Influenced by Dr. Robert Cialdini, where he talks about the fact that people are willing to do things that they wouldn't do if someone's dressed in a uniform. Whether it's a police officer, a firefighter, a lab coat for a doctor, you're wearing these different pieces of uniform and it causes people to look at you with a level of respect and authority that you otherwise are not gonna have. So for you, going out there, winning business, even if your fellow real estate agents, mortgage brokers, whoever are dressed casually and they think that that's cool, I'd highly encourage you to go buy some nice suits, dress really sharp, present yourself really well, because at the very least, it'll change how you feel about yourself and that will translate to the clients around you. It'll cause them to notice how much more confident you are, how much more well-spoken you are. It'll change how you behave and act. And remember, part of trying to get to where you're trying to get to is not being the same person that you are today. And my final little tip would be find somebody that you can look up to as a role model that you are going to mirror their behavior. And this isn't trying to fake it until you make it, it's being it until you become it. For me, it's people like Harvey Specter, where there's a certain je ne sais quoi of how they act that's impressive. I had other realtors that would say things certain way, they would articulate things certain way, and I noticed the psychology of me modeling those behaviors actually caused my confidence level to rise. So for you, get around people that have little things that you can do and take away from them and add to your repertoire, add to your toolkit of how you say certain words, how you use your hand gestures, your voice, your tonality. Get around those people, use your outfit and your actual wardrobe as a position of authority, and then take those things that people say that give them power and incorporate that into your dialogue and watch how much those things change the way you act. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, we love putting together all this information. We got a full channel filled with everything related to metrics, systems, structure, accountability. Dive in deep, let us know what questions you have, smash the like button and subscribe button. I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. My name's Jake Nicolle. Take care.